What's happening, everyone? I hope that you're all very well. It's now time for my favourite part of the week. It is the Fans Call-In Show. Thank you to everybody who's got involved. If you want to get involved, you could be talking to us on this very show next week. The link to our Discord is in the description below. Buvey, how are you getting on, sir?
Yeah, very, very good. Let's get into our first caller.
Straight in, Hanif. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing?
Very well. So good to talk to you again. What's on your mind?
I think that Arsenal now have the best midfield in the league
Why?
with the signings that they've made.
What is that midfield then, just in your opinion? So Rice is one of them, Odegaard. Is that Zubimendi and Norgard? Is it? What is it? You talking about Zubimendi?
Yeah, Zubimendi, yeah.
Is that better than Liverpool's midfield, do you think?
I reckon it is, because now with Zubimendi being our six, right? Zubimendi can do everything that Thomas Partey could do in that sixth role, but much better. And he's a much better deep-lying playmaker. So what a lot of what happened last season, and I think it's kind of tribute to why Odegaard's form dropped off, is a lot of the time you can see him dropping in very deep to get the ball and then drive it forward, because no one was really doing that. So now with Zubimendi in that six to push the ball and drive it forward, Odegaard can now be released into that creative role that we know that he can excel in.
There is something in that. Odegaard won't have to drop so deep to pick the ball up. All being well, if it goes as Arsenal hope, if it goes as Arteta hopes, Martin Zubimendi will be picking the ball up deep, winning the ball deep in the way that he does, not necessarily in a ferocious tackle sort of way, in the Thomas Partey mould, but in almost via intelligence, interceptions that way.
Yeah.
He'll win the ball, and then because of his ball distribution and his comfort on the ball, what he should be able to do is find Odegaard, and Odegaard is then picking the ball up in the final third rather than in his negative third.
Was that Odegaard's issue last season, dropping deep, or was it the fact that at big moments, certainly in the Champions League games against PSG, that he on the outside of the box, even if he was up the pitch, he didn't influence things. He didn't take things by the mantle. This idea of unlocking Odegaard, he needs to unlock himself, doesn't he?
I think there's something in that, Hanif. Do you agree? Like, Martin Odegaard's problems last year weren't simply that he didn't have the creative support in the middle. It was down to his own form and his own ability, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think you could definitely partially attribute Odegaard's form to his own self, because he did also come back from a very long injury last season. So he was very, I would say, quite shaky on, his finishing. And I remember when he first came into the club on that loan spell from Madrid, those 6 months, he kind of reminded me of that. So I think what's happened is because of the injury, he kind of regressed a little bit. But then at the end of the season, certainly for Norway, you could see kind of the old Odegaard back in his form, scoring, assisting.
Do you think it's a better midfield than... look, for me, it's not better than Liverpool's. That's pretty standard because of how good McAllister, Gravenberch have been, Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, whoever you throw in there, with Florian Wirtz, a generational talent from Germany. What about Man City's midfield with Rodri coming back, Reinders, and then you could put Marmoush in there as well? Is it better than Man City's midfield?
Buvey, it's not better than Newcastle's midfield either. There's countless. Hanif,
I was letting Hanif,
I love talking to you, Hanif.
Dig his own hole there, Rob.
But you've gone...
I want him to dig his own hole there,
fair.
Rob.
Go on, explain it to Buvey then. How's it better than Man City's?
I think it's better than City's midfield in terms of the consistency. A lot of the time last season, you can see that City midfield would get overrun quite easily. Like, even in the game against Arsenal, that 5-1, Arsenal were completely dominating midfield, even with Odegaard.
How long am I going to have to think about this 5-1? It meant nothing. It meant absolutely squiddly dude.
Diddly squat.
Jeremy Clarkson. I mean, seriously, 5-1. It's going to be all year going on about it. It didn't mean nothing. City got more wins than you last season in the Premier League, got to more cup finals than you last season. I mean, not a great season by City standards. It's not better than Rodri. So these are the facts. Rodri alone's a better midfield than Odegaard, Rice and Zubimendi combined. Let's be real. Let's be real.
That 5-1 win, for at least for me as an Arsenal fan, is symbolic to the way you guys have been battering us and hammering us 4-0, 5-1, 3-0 for how many seasons?
Yeah, it was symbolic for that, but it wasn't symbolic for anything else, was it? I mean, you didn't win anything from it.
We ran you guys into the ground, especially in the midfield.
That may or may not be true, but let's try and stick on the point here. Do Arsenal currently have a better midfield? So the midfield that you're saying, that the midfield that you're referring to, is a very different midfield to the midfield that Man City have today. Kevin De Bruyne is no longer there, for example. Bernardo Silva is now the captain. They've signed players. It's going to be a new look Man City midfield. Do you honestly believe that the midfield that you have, with the loss of Partey, and I think Zubimendi's a great player and I think he'll do very well for you. And I'd like the signing of Norgard, to be totally honest. But you're losing possibly your best midfielder last year in Partey. You're losing Jorginho and you're bringing in Norgard and you're bringing... It's a slight improvement maybe, but it isn't. It isn't an elevation to become the best one in the league, is it?
I think it is because it's going back to that point of Zubimendi lifting up Rice and Odegaard, because I love Thomas Partey and I love what he does in midfield, but sometimes you could see he has a decent amount of mistakes in him. He'll play a wrong pass or he'll have a dodgy touch. And I just don't see Zubimendi making those mistakes. I see Zubimendi sitting in that sixth role very comfortably, allowing Rice and Odegaard to drive a lot more up the pitch and be as creative as they can be, especially Odegaard, because I rate Odegaard so highly, and I think he's Arsenal's best player for the last few years, and barring last season. But last season, yes, his form dropped to his own count. There is some blame to be put on him, but I think a lot of blame can be put on the fact that he's dropping deep, having to drop out of his own position, and then be expected to run and play as well as he can in his own position. Okay.
Well, do you know what? Time's going to tell, Hanif. I think that you...
I can't wait till they come third again. Can't fucking wait.
Hanif, you better call us back, because I'm not convinced by this one, so I do want to hear what you have to say.
Can't wait till they come second again.
I'll be back.
Yeah, good man, Hanif. Great to talk to you. Appreciate
Can't wait till they come second
Appreciate
again.
your time as always.
All right.
Right, let's stick to the phone lines, shall we?
What if Zubimendi doesn't work, by the way?
I know.
He's talking he might not work.
He loves
I think
it,
he will.
Hanif. He loves it, Hanif, though. He always comes on. He's a guarantee for Arsenal propaganda.
I cannot wait till they come second again.
Hanif loves
He
it.
needs to work for DR Sports, the Don Robbie.
The Don.
100%. Right, we've got Montgomery. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not bad, mate. How are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic, mate. What are you thinking today?
Well, yeah, just wanted to talk about our summer so far, and essentially my point is that I think Brian Mbuemo, pathetically, if and when he comes to United, I think he'll quite easily be top 3 signings of the summer.
Brian Mbuemo will be top 3 signings of the summer.
Is he better? Okay, let's say it's happened now.
So.
Can I just ask you then, Montgomery? If it happens now, let's just say it's happened now. Is it better than Florian Wirtz?
No.
Is it better than Reinders?
Yeah.
No, it's not, is it? It's not better than Reinders. It's not better than Reinders. Come on.
Is it?
For us,
All things considered, Monty. All things considered. Think about the money. Think about the expectation. Think about whatever it is. Is it a better signing than Liam Delap for Chelsea?
I think so, yeah.
So what's he going to bring to the Manchester United team? You spent a lot of money. You're going to give him a huge amount of wages. What is Brian Mbuemo going to bring to this Manchester United front line?
Well, I think he's got a bit of everything, and he's got he's got goal threat. He offers assists. He's a great set piece taker. He wins a lot of aerial duels, which we have been crying out for a long time. I think he's everything that we've needed.
So before you signed him, before you were linked with him, like just when he was scoring goals for Brentford last year, did you look at him and think, God, I wish he was in a Manchester United shirt?
Honestly, I've rated him for the past year and a half. But I never thought that we would go and sign him.
The issue for United, they needed someone, didn't they? They need Premier League goals.
Yeah.
He's far better than Højlund, and alongside Cunha, it does look better at Man United.
Well, it's what it
is
should
it enough?
Be. It's a guarantee. Like as close as you can get in the Premier League as signing a guarantee. It's that you've signed players who are clearly Premier League proven. I think it's a good signing, Monty. Like I really do. I think that Mbuemo will be a good signing for you. I think Cunha is an excellent signing. But the top 3 signings of the summer.
That's the point. It's not better than Wirtz. He's already disagreed with the point.
Top 3.
Top 3, fine. Yeah, if Gahey goes to Liverpool, that's better as well.
I think it's in terms of for us, like for what we need contextually.
So is he going to get you in the top half of the table next season? Do you think? Is that what you're aiming for?
Listen, I don't think we're going to take the world by storm, but the top half of the table, yeah, definitely.
So what's your prediction then?
What elevation?
Yeah, it takes you 9th at least.
What does Brian Mbuemo drive you to next season, Monty?
What, in terms of position, like table position?
Yeah, table position. Where do you finish? Like, do you win any silverware? Do you qualify for what European competition do you qualify for? Like, overall, what do you think you are capable of next season?
I think we could get 8th, and that's a huge increase from this season.
Maybe we're in agreement then. Maybe we're in agreement because I feel like
shit on it, United.
I feel
it's
like
so
Brian
funny.
Mbuemo and Matheus Cunha could drive them to 8th.
Rory, we're talking to a Man United fan, and they're desperate to sign Brentford's number 9 to take them to 8th. This is Manchester United, Roars.
It's gone mad.
How embarrassing is this club? And I love it. How embarrassing.
It's terrible,
I
isn't it?
love it, Monty. Montgomery.
City have spent like 400 million just to finish second again.
Oh, but we spent less than you in the last 5 years. No.
Oh,
there we go.
Done him on the numbers. there we go.
I think he's a good signing, but does he take you to where you need to win in the Premier League? You've not won it since 2013.
No.
Well, a long time. It's nearly
It's a step
15
towards
years.
it.
Is it?
It's moving in the right direction. I do agree with that. Monty, have we ever spoken to you before?
No, you haven't.
Well, thank you very much for calling in.
Cheers, Monty. Come back. Thank
Cheers,
you.
Right, what we'll do now, I know it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
8th, and he's saying that with optimism as
Because
well.
you said European places. I was going to stop it. I was like,
Conference League?
would he even get that?
No. They wouldn't have done last season, would they, if they finished that, So, no, it'll be very interesting to see how it goes.
Embarrassing.
I'll tell you what we're going to do now. We're going to go back to the phone lines and we're going to talk to a club OG.
Louis, how you doing, mate?
I'm all right, lads. How are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic, mate. Yeah, what's on your mind today?
Basically, I've been hearing a lot of City fans slandering Jeremy Doku and a lot of other fans as well. And my take is that I just think he's extremely underrated.
He's not. He's rubbish.
No, he
Rubbish.
is. He is. He definitely is.
He's not rubbish.
For what he was meant to be, for what you brought him in to replace, for
What was he meant to be?
he was meant to be your marauding winger that made it acceptable to sell Cole Palmer. He was meant to be.
When you say it like that, I mean...
like
No, I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
Louis, have you ever heard? Have you ever heard the Thierry Henry assessment of Jeremy Doku? Have you ever heard it?
I was listening to a podcast the other day about Thierry Henry and his time with Jeremy Doku, but I don't know if it's the same thing that I've heard.
Must be. Yeah.
Where basically Thierry Henry was speaking about his time with Doku when he was at Belgium, and he just was so scathing about him. He said he basically said like he doesn't know what to do. He kind of beats a man, then he does the wrong thing, and then he cuts back and he lays it into space when he should play to feet, and feet when it should be space.
Louis, if Man City, let's say a Champions League final in May next year, right? You got, I can guarantee you, Rodri, Ryan is starting. Does Doku start for a side that could get to the Champions League final next season? If everything goes well for City, for Guardiola, for 4.0 Guardiola's side, does Doku start on the left or right? In your honest opinion?
Yeah, I would say
I don't think he does.
Starting.
I don't think he does.
Who starts for you, Buvey?
Right, but
Out of all the wingers at the club, I think it's Oscar Bob's more likely to start, and I think Savini is more likely to start.
Oscar Bob's been great, but he's been out for ages. What I'm saying is, from what I've seen from him last season, I don't think we had an amazing squad around last season to be able to let Jeremy Doku excel and do what he does. For example, like next season we're gonna have Eto'o behind Doku. Now Eto'o literally is more or less a winger himself as well. So on that left-hand side, you're going to have to keep an eye on Jeremy Doku, who I think like he's takes on people all the time, and then you've got Eto'o behind him. And I think what I saw in the Club World Cup, I know I'm not just trying to base everything off Club World Cup and what I saw the other day against Juventus, but Doku was playing a bit more centre, like not just hugging the touchline like he normally is, and because Eto'o's coming up as well and playing a bit higher up. And like we saw, Eto'o plays a line splitting pass through to Doku, and Doku's being able to play there closer to the goal and a bit closer into the box. And he had less to do than what he normally has to. And he took one touch and he scored. Now, normally, what I've seen that he's had to do is he's had to play against two defenders and try and beat two people, because a lot of the time he's being doubled up on.
Louis, in Manchester City's first team next season, do you think that Doku is a guaranteed starter?
I don't think he's a guaranteed starter, but I think he will be starting. I think I'm predicting him to have an amazing season next season. I think he's going to be class next season.
What do you reckon, Buvey?
I don't think he's a starter in the big game. I think if you got to the Champions League semi-final against Bayern Munich, if you got to the Champions League final against Real Madrid, you got to the Premier League a crunch game at Anfield, I think you'd really worry about his first touch can be a little bit raw, his decision making,
No, I
like
do
you've said.
agree.
So I still think he's a big part of the squad. Pace on the counter attack, particularly if you're
It's a
if you're
different
1-0
option,
down
isn't
at
it?
80 minutes. Of course, he's a fantastic player. He's not, for me, he's not ahead of Savinho. I know they're maybe on different sides of the pitch. I get that. And also with Eto'o, it's a great shout. But also because Eto'o is so good at what he does, he is that Doku replacement, because you might want a midfielder that can tuck inside. I even think Marmoush could play on the left, cutting on his right foot as well.
And Eto'o goes on the outside.
You don't need to if they both got pace. You don't always need to. Cole Palmer can tuck in. You got Reece James bombing forward or whoever, Gusto. And for City, I don't think you need Doku and Eto'o and Savinho on the other side and Marmoush. It's far too uncontrolled. And Pep this season in the Club World Cup as well, 2 bombing fullbacks and everyone else is in the narrow centre of the pitch. Loads of midfielders packing the pitch. He doesn't want wingers wide.
I think there is other options there as well. But for me, when I look at Doku, every time he gets the ball, I'm on the edge of my seat. I've not seen a player like Doku at City for a long time now. Well, I don't know if I've not seen a player like Doku at City for a long time now, and every time he gets it, I think he's positive and he looks to go forward. Now, if you compare that to, I know Grealish hasn't been great for us, especially last season, but last season I was hearing City fans saying that they want Grealish on that left-hand side over Doku.
No, I've said that.
Yeah, I know you were, Booth. I've been hearing. But every time I've seen Grealish get the ball, for example, last season, he gets the ball, he looks up and then just passes it straight back to where he got the ball from. Whereas Doku, he gets the ball, he looks up and he turns and goes and beats a man and tries to stick a pass into the box.
But that's not Pep's system. I know what you're saying as a football fan. I agree with you. He reminds me of Sean Wright-Phillips. He reminds me of an Aaron Lennon or Theo Walcott. I know what you're trying to say. But it's not going to get you titles. He's not going to be starting in Champions League finals with losing the balls the amount of times that he does last season. I thought he lost the ball far too many times. It was frustrating to watch.
I agree. I think Grealish is more suited to, and Doku is susceptible to losing the ball and getting robbed of possession. But for example, the Liverpool game last season at the Etihad, I think we lost 2-0. But for me, no one else seemed to be creating anything, and Doku was the only one that was positive. He was beating Trent, and he was trying to put balls into the box. I don't think Haaland was playing that game, but there was no one there. So I think if Haaland, in that game in particular, if Haaland was there, I think we'd have scored 2. I do think we would have, because if you look back, Doku's beating his man every time and putting the ball into dangerous areas. And I think if you can do that a bit more often this season, I think his output will increase, his goals and assists will increase. And he'll be.
That's a good point.
That is a good point. That is a good point, Louis. He's going to be very interesting to see. Can I just ask you before you go, which signing are you most excited about seeing next season for Man City?
Well, that's a tough. I mean, Turkey, raw talent. He looks amazing, but there's something about Eto'o that I love. I've seen him for a long time now, and I think he's at Wolves, and I just think he looks class, and he's Premier League proven.
Could finally be the solution to you. You've had it's been a bit of a problem position for you.
Fucking 15 years.
Terry Phelan.
I mean, serious. I mean, Kolarov cliche, it never worked out. Yeah. Mendy for obvious different reasons.
Cancelo as well. Cancelo was class, but it didn't work out with Cancelo.
Well, he was a right-footed left back. I mean, it's great to have a left-footed left back.
Yeah.
He was a left back.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, you're right.
Brilliant. And great to talk to you, Louis, man.
Thank you, Louis.
Yeah, nice one. Cheers, boys. I watch you all the time. So
you're very kind. We really, mate. We've never spoken to you before, have we?
No, you've not.
Oh well, please call back, man. That was a great call.
Yeah, I'll call back at the end of next season and see when Doku's been tearing it up for a year.
Mate, or call back in September when he's been dropped and only started one Premier League game.
Yeah, cheers, boys.
See you soon, mate. Good talk to you. Good call.
See you later. Thank
you. Good call.
It's really good. I think he's spot on. He's classic football. He'd be amazing in the 90s.
Yeah, no, I like Doku. I just don't think he's been doing it for Man City.
Lose the ball 10 times a game.
I completely agree. Should we go back to the phone lines?
Next up, we've got Devin. Mbuemo will not be successful. Expand on that, please, Devin.
Okay, well, I think he may be successful, but if we're looking at his last 4 years in the Premier League, last season he was great, way over his skis. 5 penalty goals, but 15 non-penalty goals. That was from 7.5 xG. I know you guys don't like the underlying stat talk, but let's bring it back a couple years. 6 goals from 7.4, 8 goals from 8.8, 3 goals from 8.5 xG.
What are you saying? So I don't understand the stat. What does 3 from 7 mean? 3 goals out of 7 games?
He scored 3 when he should have scored 7, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Yeah. Yeah, so he
Yeah.
scored 3 in his first Premier League season. He scored.
But you're a
3
football fan. You don't
goals,
need to look at the
non-penalty goals.
Excel spreadsheet. In your heart of hearts, will he be a great signing or a bad signing? Which one? And don't say in the middle. Good, great or bad?
I think
They're not the only options, though, Booth.
Yeah, but everyone's going to. But he's just saying could be good. No, is it more likely to be a great signing or
great,
or a bad
good
signing?
or bad? You got
Yeah,
to
great. Let's have something.
I think if he reverts to type, and he gets what, like 6, 7, 8 goals, is that a success for 65 million
No,
pounds?
that's not a good season. If he scores, I think he
I
needs
don't
to
think
be
he's
double
gonna score
figures at
6, is
least.
he? He's not going to score 6.
And Mbuemo.
No, he's going to score more than that.
Yeah,
Surely.
no, that's what I'm saying. I can't believe that Devon. You're suggesting that you could see a world where he doesn't hit double figures.
He's not taking penalties. We're assuming Bruno's going to be taking that. Is that right?
That's right.
Look at his non-penalty goals. He hasn't really gotten too many. If you're taking 1 year out of it, last year, we're putting that to a side. He's been getting 6, 7, 8 goals in the Premier League.
But that's not how it works. He's
Brentford.
playing with Man United, whether we like it or not. Will play high up the pitch. Old Trafford's a special
Score
atmosphere on its
goals.
day. He's playing with Cunha, Bruno, Brentford. Even though Brentford are at the moment a better side than Manchester United because of where they finished in the Premier League, he'll score goals because he's at Manchester United, won't he? Surely.
What do you see a world here,
So
Devon?
how many
Seriously,
goals
you
does
see
he
a
need
world
to
where he could
score?
score sub
Yeah.
10.
Well, he's going to the African Cup of Nations as well, so he's going to be missing some games. I don't think it's unrealistic to say he scores, what, 9 goals tops? Is that a success? For
I think
65
he's
million?
got a point though, Royce, because it's not about the player. We both rate the player. I think he's a solid player.
It's about the club and the
But-
environment.
Xerxes and Hoyland are some of the most criminally bad transfers in the history of the sport that we both love, and they're both strikers, and they can't hit a barn door. So maybe Mbuemo follows that trend. Who's the last number 9 for Man United to actually do really well? For me, it's Zlatan. That's how far back it
About a
goes.
decade ago.
We were in the European Union. That's when he was. Seriously, it's like, what's going on here? Seriously, what's going on?
Yeah, where's your prediction for Manchester United
Got
next
one more
season,
point
Devon?
for you.
Go on.
Oof, if they get mid-table, they'll be lucky. But yeah, under Amarim, their most exciting player, who would you say? Probably Amad Diallo, right?
No,
Yeah,
So
not
now
for me.
he's just going to be playing wing back, so that
He's so overrated, that
Not-
kid as
not
well.
for
By the
you.
way.
So who
So
was-
overrated. They're all overrated.
Yeah.
Cunha's the most exciting. Cunha's a quality player. Cunha's exciting. Diallo's so overrated.
Where are you calling in from, Devon? Obviously the States, right? But whereabouts?
yeah, sunny Tampa, Florida. If you like the
Whoa.
humidity, it's a great spot.
I do not like the humidity, and I'm currently in it myself. If you like the humidity, London is weirdly a great spot. At the
Yeah,
moment.
don't come to London.
Killer.
You get run over by line bikes.
Great to talk to you, Devon. Really, really interesting stuff on Mbuemo there. Make sure you call us back.
Yep, have a good one.
Thank
See ya.
you.
Talk to you, mate. Enjoy Tampa. And now this is a part of the show where I need to let you know, if you don't have the time to call us, if you can't quite coordinate with your diary, we can still effectively talk to you by listening to your voice notes and reacting to what you have to say. We're going to dive into the voice note section of the show now. Let's play the first one out.
Hi, my name is William. I'm a United fan. And my question is, who do you think is better between Didier Drogba and Samuel Eto'o? Personally, I think Eto'o is clear of Drogba, whether it's goals, assists, dribbles, just better on the eye, back-to-back trebles, trophies won in general, big games as well. He scored in multiple Champions League finals, AFCON top scorer as well. So, yeah, I just think Eto'o is miles better. But, what do you guys think?
Weirdly, he didn't mention the hat-trick against Manchester United for Chelsea and the great things that Samuel Eto'o did.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, he was underrated for Chelsea, obviously at the end of his prime years. But I think Eto'o was a better footballer than Drogba. I think Drogba's got maybe the big moments from an English perspective, but Sammy Eto'o was a different level striker, different level to Drogba, in my opinion.
It's impossible to argue that it isn't Sammy Eto'o if you're just comparing the two players in terms of their football careers. Like Sammy Eto'o, you're absolutely right, and every big thing that I could say about Didier Drogba, you could say about Samuel Eto'o. So I'd say Didier Drogba scored in a Champions League final for Chelsea to win us the Champions League. He scored against Arsenal, Samuel Eto'o, didn't he? He scored against Arsenal Champions League final to win them the Champions League. Obviously, Samuel Eto'o was the main man, the main goal threat of that Inter team that went on to win they won the treble, didn't they? He was an icon, Sammy Eto'o, no doubt. There is one thing I do find interesting, though. The stature of the two in terms of where they rank in the pantheon of greats. Because I feel like Drogba, the reason Didier Drogba in Africa is idolised to a level that I have never seen before. It's like Beatlemania.
Yeah.
And he seems to be like the poster boy of the continent, more so than Samuel Eto'o. And I don't know why. Because I agree that Samuel Eto'o's football career is better than Drogba's. But for some reason, Drogba's legacy and his kind of aura, it feels like Drogba's goes further.
But Sami Eto'o is I don't know if there's much between them in that regard. But if you look at, I think if you ask Mourinho hand on heart, I think he'd take Eto'o because of what he did at Inter Milan as well.
That would be a great question to ask him.
I think Prime Eto'o elevates the great Chelsea sides under Mourinho. I don't know if Drogba does the same thing to the Inter Milan treble winning side.
He does.
He obviously
Mourinho
plays.
wanted him. Mourinho tried to sign Lampard.
He doesn't make him worse. I'm not saying that,
Yeah.
but I think Prime Eto'o takes Chelsea. He's got a whole different dimension to his game. His pace, his finishing is better than Drogba, in my opinion.
Interesting. I'd like to know. I'd like someone. It's a great question, and I'd almost want the opinion of someone other than me and you to answer this.
Yeah.
If maybe the comments can help.
And Pep. I mean, he played for the treble winning side for Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
Beat Manchester United in a final. I mean, and he scored in that final as well. I mean,
No, Sami Eto'o is one of the best footballers to have ever lived, no doubt.
Versatile as well.
Yeah. So that concludes it. Thank you to everybody for getting involved in the Calling Show. We really do love it. We look forward to this segment so much. So please click the link in the description below, click the Discord, and you could be on the show next week. And remember to send us in your voice notes if you can't make the time slot. Look forward to speaking to you then. Buvey.
Make sure you subscribe. We'll see you very, very soon.